That's why I put the lead in your hand, right? Because it's awkward to think like, oh, okay, I'm going to bring this hand across. What does that mean, right? Well, that's right there. Now you can do it, right? So you're here. Yep. Yep. Good. Let's go back. Stop. And back up. There you go. Yep. And what I do when I do that, the motion of my hand is I'm here like this.
Just don't hit yourself.
Right? Like this. I go to back my horse off right here. Turn your hand over. Okay. So you're going to use the tail of that. Just turn it over. Okay. So it's down. Yep. That's all you have to do. Don't do that to your head. So you step back up. With the lead. Eyes on back with it, right? There you go. We're going to cross over. Cross over. Cross over. Now, when you cross over, I want you to call it out. Okay? So every time you take a step, I want to say step. All right? Cross over. Yep. Okay? Louder. Good. Good. And then walk off. Give me 3 steps. All right, so.
That's good.
Would you say that you are more comfortable with the crossover or the walk off? Why? Bingo. And I can tell you that because you didn't talk to your walk off. Right? So that tells me your brain went from I'm confident, I don't have to think about my footwork, to I'm thinking about my footwork. Yeah, right? So that's how I tell. So what I have my people do once they get comfortable and confident, start talking. Because that tells me your brain isn't thinking about what your feet are doing. And the faster we get there, the faster we get to the show pen, not thinking about our footwork and more thinking about I'm showing you. Right? Because otherwise, we're thinking about down here all the time. How are you going to look up and be decisive? Because your head's down here, right? Your brain is down there in your feet. We don't want to be there, right? So what I have people do is start talking while they do this. Right? The reason I can talk to you while I do my footwork is because I'm very confident with my footwork. Right? So I don't have to think about what's happening underneath of me. And I can hit relatively the same spot every time. Right? Because I'm confident with it. I know my footwork. I don't have to do that. Right? So the louder that you can be, the more confident you are. Right? Because if you're here, are you going to confidently be like step, 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 step? If you're not sure where you're going, well, that's not right. Right? So the louder you can be here practicing, the more confident I know you are. Right? So cross over. Walk off. Step back up. Yep. Cross over. Cross over. Walk off. Reset.
Better.
Back up. Yep. Step back up. Cross over. And just give me the 3 steps. Like you back up, finish here, you walk off, finish here. Cross over. Walk off. Reset. See how quiet you got?
Yeah.
Yep. Cross over.
You can say step, and if you want, instead of doing 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Cross over. Cross over. Walk off. Reset.
That's better.
Back up. Reset. Back up again. Now that first step is more sideways than back. Make sure you're coming out in front of your horse a little bit, right? There you go. So that her nose is even with your hands, right? There you go. Not in front of her, but right alongside of her nose, so she's ready to go. Then back up again. Too big on the first one. Did you feel that was a long step for you? Yep. Reset. Make a natural stride, right? Back up. Reset. Back up. Reset. Very nice. Cross over. Cross over. Stop. So now, when you cross over, what are you looking at? You should be. Where are you looking? Where you were going. Right? So you're here, and it looks like this. Right? I'm here. I'm here. I'm looking at my judge. I'm like this. That's it. right? So make sure that you have a system. So the next piece, now that you're comfortable and confident with your footwork, we're going to look at our horse's hock, we're going to look at our eye, and we're going to look at our judge. Hock, eye, judge. Why would we check her hock and her eye? What are we looking for? She's still set up, right? It's a good reason to look at her back feet. Are you resting a back foot? Right? I would want to know as I make my crossover. Right? We look at her eye because I want to know, are you thinking about the pattern? Are you here with me? Or are you doing this? Right? Not something that happens very often, but sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes we are set up and our horse does this. You can fix those things right there, right? So it's going to be crossover, hock, eye, judge. Okay? What I don't want to happen is I don't want this. I don't want it to be like your head's on a ping pong machine, right? So just your eyes, look, and then the judge. Okay? So crossover. Good. 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 Nice. So now, do you see how that fixed your shoulders without talking about it? Right? Because now you're focused here. Okay? So when your eyes have to be here, you're not doing this anymore because you can't see that anymore. Right? Make sense? So that's the cool part about stuff like that. Is we can, when you have another job, it fixes things that I don't have to yell at you about. Right? So that's how I teach all my students when they're riding, things like that, is that I don't have to yell at you to sit back or pull your legs back because your legs have got a job. Right? And the only way they're going to be able to do the job is if they're back. Right? So you'll just get that over time. Make sense? Good. Cross over. Cross over. Good. Good. Walk off. Nice. Reset. Back up. Perfect.
That was really good.
Love it. Love it. Does it feel better now? Yeah. But do you see how much repetition you got in? Like, how many times have we done this now, right? Like, yeah, that's a lot. That was like 70 times of crossing over and backing up, right? Think about how that works, right? Look how much more confident you are after that much repetition. But if you were practicing showmanship with your horse before, you would never get anywhere near that much practice, right? So it's taking the horse away, getting you solid, right? Then the cool part is, you'll start to feel when things don't work the way they're supposed to, right? So cross over. Right? Do you feel that now? Go ahead and walk off. Whoa, why are you waiting? Your showmanship doesn't change. I didn't move. Don't wait. Right? So now you're imagining, okay, you're working with your horse. Keep going. Don't wait on your horse. Okay? Go ahead and walk off. Good. Keep going. Yep. Good. Reset. And I'll show you the difference what it feels like. Okay? Walk off. Stop. You got togetherness. That's what you want to feel. And what you'll see is, from the observer standpoint, our feet move together perfectly right here. We were perfectly in sync. Looks like one leg moving around. Right? That's what you're looking for. So back up here. Otherwise, what you end up with, if I don't go exactly in time with you, go ahead and walk off. If you wait, right? Don't wait. So what you should do in that situation, pull me up. Give me forward. Right? So let's imagine we're working with our horse now. We've got her on the line. Right? Show me what it looks like for you to send me forward. Right? When would you give that pressure back? Right? We're going to walk off. Straight ahead, right? What I'll tell you to do, turn your hand over. Just like that, right? So when you're working with your horse, and she doesn't come forward, turn your hand over. Then you can punch straight ahead. Right? When you turn your hand like this, okay, so let me show you what it looks like. Remember, your horse is holding behind, right? So give me this. Here, you take this. Okay, keep your hand straight ahead, and I'm going to fall behind, see what it looks like. You feel that?
Yeah.
What am I doing to your body? Pulling you like this, right? So if we want a stronger position, turn your hand over.
There you go.
See the difference?
Yeah.
Look how you can drive this way.
Yeah.
You see that? So you're going to pull this horse up and this way.
Okay.
Punch that horse forward. If I turn your hand over, right, it's easy for me to keep your hand straight. It's easy for me to pull you this way because you don't have a lot of strength right here. You see how you're just using this part of your arm to hold me up? When you turn your hand over, what are you using? All this back here.
Yeah.
Yep. You're using your whole shoulder and everything to send the horse up. So you're so much stronger like that and more balanced. Okay? So step back up and walk forward. Yeah, see how much more. Ooh, you can put some oomph in there now, right? So now send me up. Ahead of you. It's right here. Yep. Then walk over. Yeah, look at that. Why would you have to turn your hand over? You see how much easier that makes your left turn? Yeah. Send it straight ahead. See, you come up first. Yep. Up straight ahead. There you go. Good. There you go. I want you to feel whenever the horse starts to fall behind. You see how you got something way up here? Look how I'm falling behind. There you go. There you go. So make a left turn right here. Look at the difference right here. Right? It's so much easier. Yeah, so go to the upper side. So think about that. When you make left turns with your horse, she's on the outside of the circle, she's gonna come way up. Have you ever been stepped on making a left circle? Right? The reason you get stepped on, your horse is too far behind you. Alright? So that looks like this right here wants to walk the left circle. Okay? If I'm behind you, right? I'm gonna go left circle. But I can't do that if I'm up here.
Jeremy, you gotta get in shape.
So make sure that horse stays way up. Alright? Way up ahead of you. Alright? So what should happen is I'm up here, shoulder ahead of your shoulders, around these corners. Make sense? Good. Good. Step back up.
That's how I started when they put me on a 2-year-old basketball.
Oh my god.
I talk so much that I don't have time to breathe. Good. So step back up. Cross over. Good. Cross over. Walk off. Punch it over. There you go. Punch it over forward. So you punch it forward and then turn your hand back over. Punch it forward, turn your hand back over. Perfect. Perfect. And you'll feel it for sure when you get a horse next to you. You get some lean on you. How much stronger you are to do that. Okay? Because, especially left turn, get that horse up and around you. Okay? If you don't do it that way and turn your hand over slightly, what's going to happen is, here's my left circle right here. That horse falls behind you. You come out of the left circle like this. Oh yeah. See that arm is straight like this? She's just pulling my elbow. I'm trying to use this forearm to keep everything straight. Right? So that happens all the time in showmanship. Super easy fix to just turn your hand over, right here. Turn your hand over. Pull that horse around that corner like you're supposed to, and just let it glide back in. Okay? Then that horse is going to come up forward alongside you for your straight line. Okay? Because what happens is, the next thing, because it's a snowball, right? When you're doing a pattern with your horse, every mistake snowballs on top of the next one. At the end of the class, the pattern, that snowball is either huge and unmanageable, or it's small. You've managed to keep the snowball small through the whole pattern, right? It will make your job much easier to come around that corner and turn your hand over. Even if a judge says to you, I don't like how you turned your hand over, right? I want you to keep your hand up. Might happen, might not happen, right? It's about style. If it does happen, think about the number of deductions that is, right? Bingo.
Right.
Bingo, because here, he goes, you know what? I like how you turn your hand over. Boom, 1 point off right there. Half point off. Straight line was good. +2. Right? Versus, well, I didn't turn my hand over, but I came into the judge like this. Half point off. Because my horse is behind me, look, I swing wide. I'm not in line anymore. Another half point. Straighten back out. Now I've lost 3 points right there, rather than gaining 2 and losing 1. Right? That's still a net 1, still +1, versus losing a whole bunch because I didn't do that. Okay? And that happens all the time. I get people that are like, well, the judge doesn't want me to talk to my horse during showmanship. Okay, so don't talk to it. But are you going to lose 2 points because it didn't trot off? Right? Versus if you kiss to it, lose half a point once. But now you're trotting and get +2 down that line. Right? So Yeah, you should. Yeah, you definitely should. But you'd be shocked at the number of clinics that I give. People are like, "What do you mean, Tom? I can't kiss the class." I'm like, yes,
Yeah,
you
it's so
can.
weird.
Yeah. Say whoa, kiss, do all of it. Because even if the judge doesn't like it, half point off.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Very good. All right, let's set back up.